The law of attraction. We are drawn to that which is difficult to get, and that we think little of that which is easy to get. There is a weird fact about human nature. We value and prize that which is difficult to get, and that we treat lightly or despise that which is gotten with little or no effort on our part. The rich kid whose parents give him a latest sports car on his 16th birthday isn't likely to value it as highly as compared to the fellow who has worked and saved for 3 years to buy his first car. The law of attraction works in boy-girl relationships too. You're interested in the one that is difficult to get, and you think little of the one that chases you. As the story goes, some time ago, a wealthy, love-struck young man was very attracted to a girl. He started to propose to her, and her reply to him was, "I don't have any feeling for you and I'm not ready to get married yet." And what did that guy do? He holed up in a $500 a day bedroom nearby and spent heaps of time crying. He also spent roughly $20,000 trying to urge her to change her mind. To show his affection for her, he provided a private jet, placed on standby at the airport, in case she wanted to ride around. He sent thousands of flowers to her house. A limousine equipped with a bar and karaoke parked outside her house. He sent musicians to serenade her. He sent all types of fancy food, candy and perfume. He even had people walking around her house carrying signs which said, "I love you." What did the girl respond to all this? She said, "No, period." She didn't love him, and she wasn't interested in a person who was trying to bribe her and making a fool of himself in the process. The lesson learned from all these stories is, don't chase someone. Once you do that, it wipes out your dignity and self-respect, and it lowers your value in the other person's perspective. How does that person react? He or she usually runs as fast as he or she can, in the opposite direction. Some girls are so boy crazy that they're going to write or call a man on the phone to inform him that they're so in it, to prove their love for him. No decent guy would be interested in a woman with so little self-respect. The law of attraction works not only in the initial contacts but also in relationships. A woman can never understand why a man dropped her after she gave in to him, and stopped what he had been doing before she gave in to him, begging her. There are 2 reasons for this. One reason is that, for some guys, the joys is in the chase. In the boys' club, one guy will ask another, "Get a woman lately?" After the conquest has been made, the guy is prepared to move on to the next challenge. He doesn't care about the emotional wreckage that he had left behind. And the poor girl is left to pick up the pieces. Fortunately, most guys aren't that callous. A second reason why a man drops a woman after she gives in to him is because he loses respect for her. The law of attraction operates. That which is easy to get becomes cheap in his perspective. He's interested in another girl who isn't so easy to get. Many boy-girl relationships die because they're smothered to death. Usually one person tries to possess the opposite person, which doesn't work. A woman might want her boyfriend to spend all his free time together with her. He has to give her all his time and let her know his whereabouts. She is upset if her man look at somebody else. One reason why becoming involved intimately too soon usually breaks up a relationship is that the girl expects too much after the intimacy. She thinks, since I've given myself completely to you, and now I expect you to offer yourself totally to me. I would like you to be around once I need you. I would like you to fulfill all my needs. It's almost like she thinks it's a dictator relationship rather than a going together relationship. How does this affect the guy? He is not pursuing someone anymore but being pursued. He says to himself, "This is just too much for me in this relationship. I need to have some space." That is exactly what an honest relationship needs, so don't smother it. There is a chance that he or she could be interested in somebody else, but you've got to take that risk. The wise saying is right. If you love someone, you will set them free. If they comes back to you, it's yours. If they doesn't, it never was yours. To summarize, we value that which is hard to get and that we think little of that which is easy to get. In boy-girl relationships, you're interested in the one that is hard to get and you run from the one who chases you. Don't smother a relationship. The law of self-image. We are unconsciously controlled by how we see ourselves inwardly. What you think about yourself is extremely important. It affects not only your happiness but also how you get along with people. Those who study and understand human behavior tell us that we are unconsciously controlled by the way we see ourselves inwardly. To put it simply, you're going to act out the way you see yourself. If you see yourself as not being worth much, you're getting to act that way. We all manage to remember all the put-downs we've experienced. If somebody said to you, "You never do anything right," you'll always remember that. When you started school, you became aware of your appearance. As you become older, you start to realize that your physical appearance become more and more important to you. You began to observe yourself over any possible defect. And just in case you would possibly have missed something, your classmates were all too happy to point it out to you. If you were shorter than the others, you were shorty. If your ears protruded more than others, you were ears. Or even you were a woman who was a little oversized and you were labeled the name moose. The results of all this is often that you simply see yourself with a nasty self-image. You are feeling that, somehow, you came out on the short end of things. Here may be a strange fact. We are often totally wrong on the way we see ourselves. A woman could also be good-looking and have an excellent personality, but because she wasn't elected to be the cheerleader, she thinks she isn't worth much. A fellow may have plenty going for him, but because he's not a star athlete, he features a poor self-image. Often young women have a mental disorder called anorexia. Though they're not really overweight, they see themselves as being fat, and that they become caught in extreme dieting. Many reach the dangerous point where they develop an aversion to food and simply stop eating at all, leading to permanent damage to their bodies. Sometimes it even leads to death. The tragedy is that it's all founded on a false idea or twisted truth. But whether a thought is fake or not, if we believe it, it becomes real when we believe it is real and being controlled by it. Many children have a poor sense of self-worth. If we could hear the thoughts inside their minds, we'd hear something like this. I am not worth anything. Nobody likes me. Why should they? I'm not good looking. I'm not smart. I don't have loads of cash. I'm just plain worthless. Your egos depends on what proportion respect you've got for yourself. This feeling of worthlessness makes children desperate for the approval and acceptance of their peers. They're going to do almost anything to be liked and accepted. The number one reason why teens become involved in early boy-girl relationship intimacy is their desire for love and acceptance. The girl with a poor self-image is probably going to say yes to any guy who shows her a bit of attention. She craves for somebody to be close to her and tell her that she is worth something. If it takes early boy-girl relationship intimacy to achieve that, then she is willing to offer it. She says, if giving myself to him is the price to pay to fulfill my desire for my boyfriend to love me, then I will just have to pay that price. To her, it seems that this is often the easiest way to get the love and a spotlight she needs to build up her self-image, and make her feel better about herself. The tragedy is that, sooner or later, this early boy-girl intimacy relationship will disappoint. Now that the girl is rejected, she seems like a trash. What bit of positive self-image she had is shattered. On top of that, she now got to fight feelings of bitterness. Your self-image depends on the amount of respect you for yourself and the way others respect they have for you. And how you build respect. Respect is built by setting certain standards and living up to them. Nobody can cause you to cheap, but you could make yourself cheap. Most large stores have a bargain table. The things there on table is discounted because it's been allowed to be used by someone. Nobody can put you on the bargain table, but you put yourself there by allowing people to handle your body. The law of self-image will work for you if you'll see yourself as you actually are, a person of priceless value. Every person is priceless. Think of a family on a late afternoon outing out in the mountains. Darkness is starting to fall when someone suddenly realizes that a 5-year-old girl is missing. The alarm goes out, little girl is missing. Immediately everyone begins to look for her. Police and other hikers in the area are called in. Search parties are organized. Soon many people are anxiously combing the mountainsides. The search continues on into the night. Nothing is spared. Every effort and resources available are used in the search because every child is priceless. Consider the excitement of the people when the little girl is found. Because we live in a world that practically worships success, we tend to measure the worth of things by size or dollar value. This is often a huge mistake. Those mountains with their colossal size may contain minerals worth many dollars. Yet their value can't be compared thereto of a small little 5-year-old girl who was lost. The little girl weighs only 30 pounds, yet everyone recognizes that she is worth much more than those mountains. Every person is priceless. Why is it that this little child is so valuable? Because she is a living person, she can laugh and love and be loved. She is priceless. All the items that we value so highly, bigness, success, money, glamour, and fame, are nothing compared to the price of any person's life. When you begin to learn your value and therefore the value of people, it'll affect the way you relate to them. Guys, that girl you're going out with is not just a person to offer you pleasure and satisfy your intimacy desires, then be thrown away once you are uninterested in her. She is a priceless person with all the importance that each person has. And girls, to place it plainly, you're priceless, not just a few guys' person. To summarize, you are controlled by the way you see yourself inwardly. Begin to see yourself as who you are. You do not need to pretend that you are worth something. Just believe the reality that you are priceless. Believe this and start to act it out in your life. You'll have dignity and self-respect. The law of difference. There is a basic difference between the way that guys and girls believe about love. Guys and girls are different in some ways, not only about the obvious, outward differences about the way their bodies are made, but in many other ways also. One basic difference between a man and a woman is the way they believe love. A woman thinks of affection in terms of romance. She wants a man to like her, cherish her, ask her, hear her, and put her on a pedestal. She wants love, protection and security. A guy thinks of affection differently. He thinks of it more in terms of physical intimacy. The main target of his attention is the human body of the girl. He's not daydreaming about romantic love. It's the physical aspect of the attraction that has his attention. There is a reason for this. The time of greatest concupiscence for a man is in his late teens. His glands are working overtime. This is often why he tends to consider love more in terms of physical, but his desire for physical intimacy isn't an evidence of real love. Just because a man wants to have physical intimacy with you doesn't mean he loves you. Girls, write this down in concrete. Simply because a man wants to have physical intimacy with you doesn't mean that he loves you. We don't want to be too hard on the blokes, but the very fact is that the majority of the guys could enjoy physical intimacy with anything in a skirt. So don't get all excited simply because some guy let you know that he would really like to have physical intimacy with you. The peak of a woman's physical intimacy desires comes later. During a boy-girl relationship, the girl isn't thinking primarily about physical intimacy. She is brooding about romantic love. Many guys and girls cannot understand what happened to their romance. Everything was fine when they first began, but now they are not seeing things the same way. There are misunderstandings and arguments. The reason is that they are coming from different directions. It has been said, a girl plays at physical intimacy, that she isn't ready, because what she wants is love. A man plays at love, which he's not ready, because what he primarily wants is physical intimacy. What the girl primarily wants is love. She wants someone to affirm her and tell her that she is special. She wants a committed boyfriend who loves her, someone to speak to and to share her life with. Her love drive is mature. A girl plays at physical intimacy, what she wants is love. Her drive, however, isn't mature. She isn't ready for physical intimacy and every risks and problems that accompany it. She knows that it's the girl who gets burned in these matters. She got a lot more to lose than the guy, and she or he isn't ready for all the heavy stuff that goes with a relationship. But she doesn't want to lose her boyfriend, so she plays at physical intimacy, to get the love she wants and wishes. The guy, on the opposite hand, isn't ready for love. He's not ready for a lifetime commitment. He's not ready for all the responsibilities that come with being a husband and a father. His love drive isn't mature in the least. A guy plays at love. What he primarily wants is physical intimacy. His drive, however, is mature. At 16 or 17, he has powerful physical intimacy desires and that show up. What does this mean? It means he wants a woman. He wants her body. He wants physical intimacy activity. What does the guy do? He plays at love, so as to get what he primarily wants. He uses words of affection and tells the girl what she wants to hear. We don't question his sincerity, but the main target of his attention is on physical intimacy. He may sincerely think that he loves the girl, but he doesn't understand real love. He doesn't realize how selfish he is, thinking only of his own physical intimacy needs. The test of true love. It's unselfish and committed. If a woman isn't careful, things can get out of hand very quickly. She gives him an inch and he takes a mile. Soon she is wondering if she is out with a pervert maniac. Let us say that a girl is out with a guy and she likes him a lot. They park their car on a quiet place and talk. Then he begins to have a real strong physical intimacy urge. He's telling her how much he loves her and how much he needs her. He's breathing heavily and his hands are beginning to go after her. She doesn't need to read a book to work out what he has on his mind. If the girl doesn't realize the real facts of life, she may reason like this: the guy wants to possess physical intimacy with me. I might not want to have physical intimacy with a man unless I actually loved him, so the guy must really love me. Hold it, girl. Don't get overexcited thereupon reasoning. Concupiscence in itself isn't an evidence or proof of love. The girl should guard her affections. Most guys know that a woman won't give in unless she thinks the guy really loves her. So the guy says, "I love you, girl, and at some point we'll marry. I would like to express my love for you." Is that love? No, it is not. Remember the test of true love. It is unselfish and it's committed. When these two qualities are missing, it's not real love. His strong concupiscence isn't an evidence of true love. It's just his glands pushing him. If he really loved her, he would want what's best for her, not just a thrill at her expense. Strong concupiscence isn't an evidence of true love. Girls, when a man is getting himself all aroused and telling you how much he loves you, tell him to back down. Guard your affections. Strong concupiscence isn't an evidence of true love. When physical intimacy involved and later breaks up, it's the girl who suffers. Notwithstanding there's bitterness, the breakup is far harder on her. One reason for this is often that he got what he wanted, but she didn't get the love she wanted. She feels used. In fairness to the blokes, it should be said that always it's an aggressive girl who is putting the pressure on the guy. Some girls have little or no self-respect and that they are relentless in their pursuit of men. Too much similar ending story like those you read on the Ann Landers column of a newspaper. To summarize, there is a difference within the way guys and girls consider love. A woman thinks of romantic love, someone to be close and tell her that she is special. A man thinks of affection more in terms of physical intimacy. How far is just too far? Research has shown that, even with couples who don't go all the way, there's going to be physical intimacy involved after approximately 300 hours spent alone with one another, unless definite steps are taken to stop this. The formula goes like this. How far is too far? An automobile is provided with safety devices to allow you to know once you are in peril of ruining the engine. For instance, when the engine is running hot, a red light flashes on the dash. This allows you to know that something is wrong. You would like to prevent immediately and determine what it is. Here are some warning lights to allow you to know once you are going too far. You are going too far when a guy's or a girl's hands start physical intimacy. You are going too far when either of you starts removing outfit. Keep all of your outfit on all the time. You are going too far once you do something you'd not want to be doing around someone you actually respect. You are going too far once you cannot make an intelligent decision on what you ought to or shouldn't do and perform that call. To summarize, before you begin dating, you would like to lay out your guidelines on how far to go. The single guideline that's 100% safe is, keep your hands off and your outfits on. Thanks for watching and tell us what you think of the video in the comments below. And remember to click subscribe for more videos every day and hit us with a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Until next time BGR story, please take care of yourself and see you soon.